two Saints drafts are solid pieces of work by a staff hardworking and thoroughly prepared. Saints drafts weren't always such in the past. Many number ones never made it, and the lack of success in a Saints uniform had a spillover effect on the Saints' first pick. But now Les Kelly is on the rebound. Back home in Alabama, about an hour's drive north of Birmingham.
It hardly seems like 20 years ago when the Saints made Les Kelly their first draft pick. Big things were expected, but 4 years later, Les Kelly was to drive right out of the Saints picture to Denver, where cracked vertebrae in the neck gave Kelly a failing physical and a ticket out of football.
I question myself as to whether maybe all of us ought to be on the losing team at least once to know what it's like.
Les Kelly's eyes may be glued to the long and narrow roads of the Alabama countryside, but as he went back, you could see his mind was racing. Much of what Kelly remembers isn't good, yet the memories are so close, he could reach out and grab them. Then and now, Saints fans are a group Kelly gladly pulls in and keeps close to his heart.
But I can't imagine, knowing what I know now, I can't imagine any town being as prime for a professional football team as New Orleans was. It was crazy. It was crazy and it was wonderful.
Life in the Alabama Hill Country was good to Les Kelly, a star at Coleman High, on 2 national championship teams at Alabama. But as a pro, life was much different. He was away from home and in a different world. Primarily a runner for Bear Bryant, Alice Kelly's son possessed the good looks and eyes of determination. Kelly was thought to be part of the Saints running stable, but soon was a full-time linebacker.
There just wasn't a whole lot of teaching going on. You were put out there and it seemed like expected to know everything that there was to know about playing linebacker. And I wasn't, or I didn't know it. Primarily as not a result, but maybe a spin-off of my football experience in New Orleans. I went through a divorce, ended up broke, you know, owing a lot of money, and considered bankruptcy at the time, but probably didn't even have enough money to get bankrupt.
This is the kind of place where a man can contemplate and pull his life together. Kelly did that. Now baseball coach at Wallace State Junior College in his hometown.
I'm satisfied with who I am and what I'm doing. Like I said, I could be probably making a lot more money than I'm making right now, but it would not be as rewarding.
Like the new Saints, Les Kelly has his priorities in order. Although he says he's not an avid Sunday football watcher, he'll be glued to his TV set when the Saints make that first playoff appearance, remembering what it was like 20 years ago and how he, like the franchise, has bounced back from sometimes bitter disappointment.
I wish I was on the team. I wish I was on this team, you know. Not because they're women, not because you want to jump on the bandwagon necessarily, but because those people in New Orleans have waited for so long. And I hope Saints win by 100.
Although the Saints didn't win a whole lot at Tulane Stadium, those days were certainly full of fond memories. They were great times. One man who remembers former Saints center Joe Wendrahowski, number 54, a man who is now a successful businessman, productive, bubbles with personality, and a guy I always tease as saying they changed the holding penalty from 15 to 10 yards when Joe is in the league. Joe, welcome to the show.
Wendy, you heard Les. Do you wish you were on this team?
Oh God, I could stay with this team and be with it for about 20 years, Ro. I'm really happy for the guys, and finally it's come, the fans too have been sitting there almost like players too. Since I left the team in '69 and sitting out there in old Tulane Stadium and now in the Superdome, I'm one of them, and they finally got rewarded.
Joe, you have season tickets. Now, when you watch the games, something that Danny said that caught me is I don't know, he said some of the guys are jealous. Some of them are happy. Some of the old guys are jealous about this team's success. Do you think how do you feel about that?
I talked to a bunch of guys, and they seem to all be really happy. You don't take that away from a man. You know, the competition is there. You know, maybe down inside, you say, oh, God, man, would I love to be there, you know? And I've always wanted to wear that old Super Bowl ring, and these guys have got a real good chance of it. I think that's you play for different stages. I played for, you know, just for a lot of fun and everything, and the competition of being in there and going all the way to the Super Bowl. But I don't, hey, I love these guys. I know a bunch of the ball players, and man, I say, hey, guys, all the way to San Diego, baby, you know. Ren and I are going to San Diego with y'all.
We should mention this jacket here. That's the that's what you want to travel with in '67.
Is this a relic? I wore this in '60.
You can smell the mothballs.
You can kind of, yeah. Here, you can smell New Orleans on this dude, right? But yeah, this is what we used to wear on the road trips. We all dressed up and everything, had our fleur-de-lis ties and everything, and we were all real nice, and then you know, looked like a team or whatever.
Joe, quickly, how good are the Saints now? How far do you think they'll go in the playoffs?
It's a game by game. I think they can go all the way. I mean, they're the hot team of the NFL. They got a lot of steam. I'd be scared to play them. I would be, you know, realize they got some young people. They come flying. They come tough, and the offense is it's climbing. It just keeps getting better. You know, their team the best kicking game in the league. I'd be scared than heck to play these guys.
Joe,
Okay.
thanks.
Thanks a lot, Joe. You know, we talked to former LSU Tiger Henry Thomas via satellite today from Minneapolis. In a moment, that conversation with the rookie nose tackle.
Well, I think what you had was basically a ship without a master, and you had people that just didn't know exactly what they were doing. Nothing against Dick Gordon, but he was an astronaut, not a football man.